Hello, this is a Leshark and Friends
and Russell
and Russell podcast. And on today's show, we're talking to the talented and handsome Zack Underwood. Australian, don't tell anyone. Zack talks about his life growing up in Thailand, university in London, modelling for me, and working with his dad on some wonderful design projects. Zack is super smart, creative, and one of the nicest people we know, and has some amazing stories to tell us about his journey. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the podcast.
Does no one panic about fire alarms? Oh, it's gone off. Okay.
Apparently not. I think that would be the 1 o'clock bell for them to go back to work. Is that right?
Or go to lunch.
No, it's 1 o'clock. Zack's here.
Oh, hey, Zack.
Oh, hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How are you, handsome man?
Thank you very much. Yeah, really well. Really well, actually. Better since you two showed up.
Well, it goes without. Most people say that, to be honest.
So with the lovely, I called you Zachary once, and you told me off because you said that I was talking to you like your
Too
mother.
formally. Yeah. You don't full name someone unless you're really cross with them.
I was really cross with you, I think.
Yeah. What did I do?
I can't remember.
Must have been something awful.
Anyway,
Zachary.
Yeah.
Zack Underwood, legend, guru, handsome model. Used to be a
Yes,
model.
true.
I say used to be
Used
a
to
model.
be. He's not any handsome anymore.
No, grown out of that. Definitely. those days are very much
Those
past.
days of modelling with sexy chicks in bikini are now gone.
Yeah.
Zack Underwood, we're sat here at your... Is it your... Would you call it yours? Because it's the Underwood factory, technically, so it's technically yours.
It's in constant evolution. This place changes all the time, so
That is true.
it's a split between me and Dad. We've been working on this quite a bit since we opened the restaurant here. So opened the cafe, really nice.
Tell us about the cafe.
Oh, definitely. This is my segment. Since the C word started,
Yep.
COVID began. Like our restaurant in Kalim was suffering really
Sure.
bad. We didn't have anyone show up, so moved the guys to the factory just to keep them employed. We didn't want to lay anyone off. So they were working down in the factory for quite some time.
What were they doing?
Chefs, mosaics, packing things, odd jobs we could find for them. But then we opened up the restaurant here, and it's kind of kicked off.
Was the idea to open as just we've got staff, we've got the kit?
We have a canteen here anyway, so
Yeah.
it's basically opening up the canteen for everyone else.
Yeah.
No, it's great though.
I've eaten here many times before the... It's called The Grind, isn't it? I'm assuming that's a play on the word of grinding coffee. See what I've done there? Clever me.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about you're going to go there after a hard day grinding
Yeah,
at work.
and everyone says that's
Or
back
if-
to the grind, isn't it?
Back to the grind.
Yeah.
Or where you'd be found most of the time, grinder.
Yeah.
Zachary Underwood.
Cha.
I've never think
you
I've
add sound
been-
effects to this podcast.
I will
don't
do,
you?
yeah. I'll put a sound effect of a big bear grinding me.
You don't.
Is that wrong?
You don't need sound effects. You got Russell here.
I think if I was
human
gay, if
soundbite.
I was on Grindr, I think I would go for the bears.
I'm not sure I want to go down this road.
Well, no, I just think.
Well,
I think you're bordering on a bear.
Am I? I
You're
think I am.
You're bordering on a bear.
I need to go get my hair cut this afternoon. Anyway, back to Zachary. How long have you been on the island for?
God, since I was about 10. Came here after the 97 crash. My dad had a factory in Bangkok, which he then moved to Phuket because the only thing that was still chugging on was tourism. So my mum, my sister and I went back to Australia for a year and then came back after everything was settled. So we started at the British International School pretty soon after, and then went through high school there.
So, prior to that, where were you hatched?
Catched.
Yeah. Where
That's
did you?
Russell's term for born, I believe.
Oh, Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Brisbane.
We've all got issues.
Catched. Okay.
So, but you don't sound Australian, luckily
Thank
enough.
God.
Thank God. Yeah. I worked long and hard on that.
But I'm assuming you have a Australian passport.
Yes, Australian passport.
We can edit that
But-
bit out. It's okay.
Don't tell anyone. No, but like international schools, everyone ends up with the same kind of like intercontinental
Smorgasbord of an accent. Yeah.
yes, accent that can't
Do you want
really
to
be
explain
placed
that?
anywhere.
No, I know what a smorgasbord is. That's where you
I
get
was gonna go
pickles
accent.
and you get some salmon and you get some bread and you eat it all. It's like a Swedish breakfast.
Yeah.
Is that a smorgasbord? It's close enough. So growing up, what was growing up like in
Oh, it's
Phuket?
great.
Yeah,
It's
tell
fantastic.
two people that haven't grown up what growing up is like.
Oh.
Good question, Russ.
Oh god. It's great. It's like you couldn't find somewhere better. Like honestly.
But even your teenage years.
Yeah. It's like great friends, good neighborhood. Have a really good group of friends that I still have now. So I don't know what else you can hope for from your teen years, looking back, especially. You know.
Sex, drugs.
Rock and roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
less, not so much of that.
Yeah.
That
I
came
think
much
Nothing
after.
we can talk about.
Yeah. Beep. I think it's also you can't really compare your childhood because like any part of your life, really, I guess, to a point. But your formative years,
Yeah.
that's where I grew up. That's what I know. So that's all you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Right, so-
there was a feeling of, kind of felt Phuket was a bit of a cultural black hole when it, especially 10 years ago now. Like, there wasn't a lot that was happening here, and maybe it's a little bit different now. But I went to London for 4 years to study, and I actually.
What did you study, sorry?
Fine art. Yeah, so fine art and CSM.
CSM?
Central St. Martin's.
Right.
Yeah.
Still don't know what that means, even though he said it.
But like coming back, you realize there's more. It's like more of a blank slate. There's more opportunities here, and like I was actually really keen on getting back and like getting into things because when I went to London, I don't know. I felt out of place, and I guess it's something when you grow up in Asia, you just kind of
Oh, totally.
have
Yeah.
There's something about the mentality.
Your first
about
10
the
years were all
lifestyle.
in Australia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh
So-
no,
so-
actually, moved to Bangkok when I was 3. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, since I
So,
was
okay, so you've grown up in Thailand.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so yeah.
I think you're right. We're going to the opportunities. I think that's something that the huge positive for me living here in Phuket for the last 12 years is the opportunities that you get to do different things and try different things. And I think we've mentioned this before on a podcast where I don't think I would had the chance to be on a local radio. The size of...
Yeah.
I know that the local radio in Phuket we don't think is huge, but compare it to England local radio, it's
Yeah.
pretty big.
Yeah.
You know, you're covering a huge area, and to be on that and to be on stage and to do stuff like that, I'm not sure I would have the opportunity to do that in the UK. Maybe I would because I'm amazing, but maybe you wouldn't, Russell.
But then it's more, I think, to do with the red tape that we'd have to jump through and all those sort of loopholes rather than sort of rocking up and saying, hey, I can do this, great, on you
I
go.
think
That's
I
pretty
also
much how
think
it was,
there's an openness
Nice
to
recovery
it
of
as
that.
well.
Thanks.
Like you meet people here, people that you might not have met back in Australia or back in the UK. Like there's just an openness for people to sort of like meet and collaborate and talk about what they're doing because they're really sort of driven and excited.
The key word there for me is collaboration.
Yeah.
And Sam mentioned this, was it last week? Week before?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. The difference with like an expat life is you just kind of get dropped into it and you get swept along with it.
Yeah.
You have to get on with the person next to you and whoever comes in and out your life at various points because it's very transient. People aren't always here for a long time. The ones that are, you tend to sort of bond really strongly with.
Yeah.
If you're sort of, born and bred in the same Australian town, went to school, had friends and everything.
Can be very complacent.
Wherever in the world
Yeah.
you are, it's very same. You're very hunkered down to your own. Whereas here, we're exposed to so many different people, cultures, backgrounds, ideologies, political
Ping-pongs.
affiliations, hamsters.
Yeah.
That you just have to kind of take the rough with the smooth.
Sorry, I thought I could move ping pongs.
Right.
What's wrong with hamsters? Oh, I got to tell you a story about I lost a hamster.
Let's come back to that.
Okay. When you went to study fine art, was that what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
When you was going through school? So what when you say fine art, what does, for someone like me, a heathen, what does it mean?
I loved drawing when I was a kid. I loved painting, like anything creative, really. And fine art was what I saw as a kind of outlet for that. My dad studied sculpture when he was doing his art degree. but I never really saw it as that's what you're going to end up doing. You know, it's to be honest, university was more a time where you could collaborate and you were exposed to a lot of different kind of art forms and people and methods and processes, and it was a real kind of kind of general stroke of creativity, especially in the UK.
You're describing university very different to how I would describe it.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, what was your uni like?
Getting
Sex,
drunk,
drugs, and women.
Oh, that
trying
too.
lots of drugs, shagging horsey girls. I went to an equine college. It was perfect. It was brilliant.
Yeah. I think that's the difference between like
You and me.
like,
Sorry,
no, I was going to say big city unis and like which?
Oh, Gloucester. It was full
Okay.
of weird inbred people
Yeah.
and horse chicks.
Oh, okay. Well,
Sometimes they were mixed, and that was really weird. Where were you doing fine art?
in London. So
Oh,
that
wow.
was
Okay.
Yeah, you can get lost in that city pretty easily.
Yeah.
But yeah,
To me, when you say the word fine art, it's
a bit.
Rembrandt. It is Picasso. That to me is what I would say was fine art.
I
What
would-
would you describe it as?
I-
They're the
well,
only two you
mean-
know, aren't they?
Yeah, they are the only two I know.
To be honest, when I was in uni, I realized what a load of
crock of
bullshit.
shit it is,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was pretty bullshit. But what you found, like, because fine art can be really sort of removed from reality. Like, it might be a commentary on what the state of the world is, blah de blah, but it doesn't really have any real value. Actually, can we cut that? No, but it's
the classic. It's in the eye of the beholder.
It can be like really like there was a lot of disillusionment when I was in uni because I thought it was just like there was so much critical thinking wrapped up with, and it kind of cracked down on what I actually really enjoyed about it in the first place.
Just to accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, as I always do. Interesting, I did theatre studies at A-level, and I hated theatre studies because it was learning about who invented the backdrop, who invented the way the curtain worked, and I was like, mate, I just want to get on stage and perform. I don't want to do all this kind of, I don't care that so-and-so invented this and so-and-so invented that. I want to perform. Did you find that as well? Was it more learning about stuff that you didn't want, you just wanted to be creative and get out there?
I realized I'm much more of a practical person, and you get lost when there's not a framework for you to work inside of, you know?
Oh, he's using lots of puns on art framework to get there.
Like I like it when I've got something that's got a purpose. So maybe I should have gone more in the line of design rather than fine art because it's a little bit more brief driven. But I actually what I most enjoyed when I was out there was when I was working for like doing internships or working for designers, and that was very practical. And then coming back here, it's the same. Like you explore processes, you build things, you have to experiment, you have to figure out how to make things. It's really what I enjoy.
When you went to the UK for uni, was the goal, the intention always to come back and work here, or were you sort of open?
It was pretty open
Yeah,
at that
okay.
point, but towards the end of it, I knew I wanted to be back.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't see. I don't see a path for me in London or the UK.
Well, I didn't really see a future there, but I just felt like I was finished. I felt like I'd had enough. I'd done.
So, and what years were you in London?
From the
interest.
best years, actually. We had the wedding, the Olympics, before it all turned to shit.
Yeah. 2012.
Thank you. I was going to say there's not many opportunities for Australians in London apart from working in a bar, and obviously doing your fine art degree, you don't want to go and work in a pub, because that's generally what Australians go and do. Zachary, how old are you now?
I am 30.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, just
Look
hit
young.
the big 30 about a couple of weeks ago now.
With
Happy
your
birthday.
Oh, cheers, mate.
with your dad being such an artist and a sculptor and kind of, and he's created some great things, and Zach's got to sign invoices while he's being recorded. This is great.
Yeah. This is podcast gold.
I'll
just keep going.
You
Yeah.
sign these
That's
things.
all right.
You want to check them first?
Can we all sign one?
Yeah, they've got something for everyone. I'll go keep talking about your dad for a little while.
Yeah, go
with
on.
his new
I'm
long
listening.
hair. Well, no, with him growing up doing sculpture and doing stage design and did you want to follow in his footsteps? Was it something that you kind of wanted to do because of him, or is it a passion that you had yourself?
We're very much cut from the same stone in that way. Like, we're very we're very creative. We like making things. We like building things. We like just like the energy and creativity is like, it's amazing, you know. And that's always kind of what I wanted to base my life around. My dad's always kind of said this factories should be just considered as a tool, right? Mm-hmm. He does his things with it. I do my things with it. So it's a really good base to be able to make stuff. And like it's honestly great, because I wouldn't be able to have like half the opportunities I've had up until this point without that sort of base. So I'm super thankful for it. Doesn't mean we're like 100%, we agree on everything and we want to do different things, but you've got to really appreciate the fact that like I haven't had to start from scratch and have the frustrations of not having a space to work or having to work another job while I'm trying to do something creative, you know? So in that way, it's amazing.
Cool. We'll let you sign your invoices while Russell and I have a little chat about Zack. We could do the outro quickly.
That was a good pod.
I
enjoyed that.
I enjoyed that.
Coffee was really nice. I'm glad we
I love the bit
here.
where he came out at the very end. It was brilliant. I mean, all that whole 45 minutes.
Yeah. It was like Sam a couple of weeks ago with her big reveal. The big reveals are the important part of season 2, I feel.
I thought he was straight as a Darrow. As a Darrow.
As a Darrow.
Whatever Darrow is. Anyway, just sign your invoices.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Is that a stressful,
sorry about that.
Is that like a stressful admin day done for you, is it?
Yes.
What
spending money.
Before we get on to what you do here and what you do now and kind of what do you really like in your free time with the art stuff? Not work stuff.
It's really tied together. Like,
is it really?
There's no art, work without art or art without work. Yeah. And plus, like, we're, like, COVID has slowed a lot of, slowed a lot down, but we're still chugging along, luckily. So it's really as busy as ever.
Where's your predominant client market?
So we've basically got one incredibly good client that my dad's been working for the last 20 years, which is Bensley out of Bangkok.
Okay.
They do all the weirdest and most wonderful resorts and homes and spaces you've ever seen. And luckily we get to be involved and try and actually most of the time it's just trying to work out how to fabricate those ideas.
And how does that work then? So a new ridiculously funky resort comes online. Yeah. They engage Bensley to design it.
Yeah. So
then they drop to you and say, right, make it.
Yeah. So
they give you they sketch it, do this.
Yeah, pretty much. So they'll do all the master planning and architectural design and concept design and drawings. But then we get engaged to try and figure out how to produce it, and we add our own spin on things, try and it's basically like we troubleshoot all their ideas to make sure it's feasible and make sure it works, and we try and create something that people can talk about. I really think like we make talking points, you know, for places and spaces and things that catch your eyes and things that you need to engage with, you know?
If I may interrupt momentarily, I would argue that you've really understated the eye-catching things for people to talk about, because everyone talks about the Underwood brand, for not just for here, but for bits and pieces they've seen. It's not just, it's kind of cool. It's
I'm
fucking awesome.
I'm in it all the time, so.
Well, I buy that.
No, I understand. It's.
Do you want to continue working with your father, or is there a part of you that wants to really spread your wings and break free and go and do your own thing and create?
And like you said off air, do it properly.
There's a part of me that like, it's like working. Family businesses are never easy. Like you always have to find ways of working together. But I feel like initially there was a little bit of friction, but now we're more so we understand that we create really interesting and good things together, and we have different takes on it. Like Dad's been like building things for his entire life, so he understands how things can like create really tactile things and objects and interesting compositions. And like I'll show you guys later, but his mechanical sculptures are out of this world. Like he's set up a studio in the back of the factory, and that's what he does half of the time.
Right.
And they're amazing. And they're just, it's things that are weird, like things that you can't even describe because they're just so weird.
Listen, I mean, Tank and I, God rest his soul, played on this stage because we sat in the Grind Cafe here at the Underwood factory. Little plug there. But we sat on this stage and we performed, and that was the first time I think I met your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Was when Tank and I first opened when we did the Shark Tank. God, that was years and years
Yeah,
and years
yeah.
and years ago. I think that was the first time we actually met.
Was
when we
it?
did. I think it was because I think your sister was here as well.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
think she was at that time. Anyway, either or, but your dad was always saying, "Oh, we could make this for you, and we could do this for you. We can have you coming up through the stage, and we can do this, and we can do that." I'm like,
Yeah, it's still the same.
you know, and he's just so out there, but so brilliant. And then he does the stuff that he says, and that's what I find really. Because then we did the
Your
Jada
coming out
Shark
party.
and Friends coming out party, which
Yeah.
we did here 3 years ago, whenever it was, 2 years ago. And even then, you know, you guys
We
gave
built
us the machine
built
to
a
make
chair.
magic
the
trick.
box.
Yeah.
It wasn't
yeah.
magic. It wasn't magic. It was real.
Yeah.
It was.
It was a real box we made Russell's
Yeah.
head spin round.
My neck's only just come back.
But do you have the same passion that he does, where you just want to go and create weird stuff and then see what happens afterwards? Because you create that magic box. He built that not for anybody,
No, yeah.
just because he could.
Because you couldn't.
Yeah, because he could and because he wanted to. Yeah. Like, at the moment, I'm much more business orientated, so I'm thinking more in terms of clients and admin work and running the factory. So that does have a little bit more time to get stuck into the sorts of projects. But yeah, they are really, really incredible.
But do you find that dynamic works or helps the relationship in the family perspective? Because your dad's off doing not all the creative stuff, but he's being totally creative, not so much on the admin and the client side.
Well, he's definitely playing to his strengths.
Yeah. So, and do you find that, well, okay, I'll pick up this end, not necessarily because I have to, but I want to. I enjoy that side of things.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, like it's all balance, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you really want to be able to do it all, but you have to do what's really pertinent at the time for you to. And especially over the last few years, and especially recently, it's really been about pushing on with work and making sure we're gonna survive and come out stronger at the other end of this.
So we mentioned earlier you were a model. You entered into the modelling world for a few
God.
years. Tell us
God.
about that experience.
I was 18 at the time, and
Did you? Because I've used you and a few others.
Careful how you say that.
I've seen
It's
Zack
closer
in
to the
just
truth
a
than you'd
skimpy
think.
pair of pants. No. Did you enjoy that? Because you did some modelling. We say the word modelling. You did some photo shoots and some video shoots. Did you enjoy that?
they're fun. They're so much fun. What like where else do you get to hang out with beautiful people for a day and get paid for it? You know, like.
Did we pay you?
Oh,
I think we did.
in
a couple of
favors.
times. In favours, yeah. No, but would you go back to it?
I think that time's passed.
So-
Time has passed.
The mind is willing.
No, I've actually-
Mind is willing.
I've worked with Zack on a couple of photo shoots, I think it is, or maybe one or two, and they've always been great
Oh,
fun.
they've just been fun. It's a
Especially
day out.
working with the Fat Mango guys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and then you get and work with Kat,
Yeah.
who's now in France, who's doing super. She's on TV and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Wow,
she's
amazing.
presenting channels and stuff. It's amazing.
Fair play.
She's got her boobies done as well now. A lot bigger than they were, obviously, because that's what happens when you get boobies done. So, Zack, you, day to day, what are you doing?
Day to day. Okay, day in the life. Somewhere like dealing with clients, working on projects, designing things. It's such a wide variety of stuffs that it's hard to pick anything down. Like for example, at the moment we're doing a renovation in Phuket town where we're conjoining 2 shop houses, which is really quite fun. It's the first renovation project I've kind of handled fully on myself.
So when you say renovate, so what are you renovating it to and from? Or from and to?
So
From
it's a family home for this American family that they've just been wanting, since COVID started, they've really wanted to put a bit of time into making the place look incredible because they've realized they're going to stay out here for the next for however long. So yeah, it's been doing things like knocking together kitchens, making spaces, like, yeah, really, really nice stuff.
And where does the design, are you trying to keep it more into the Phuket kind of feel, or have you got free range to make, because if you walk into the Underwood factory, you walk into the grind here, and it's mental, it's crazy. Are you doing the same sort of thing with that renovation, or are you following what the client kind of says?
It's the polar opposite. Polar opposite. So we met with
clean lines.
We met with a client early on, and it was me and Dad. So because we double team these meetings all the time. I'm the fresh new face, and he's the withered wise artist. But we generally do quite well because we add such a different slant on it.
You rock up at someone's house with Gandalf next to you. It's going to make an impression.
I think more Hagrid, I'd say. Yeah, Hagrid and Harry next to each other. But from the get-go, he was like, because he's got a very white box aesthetic, right? Very gallery. Think New York white box gallery kind of idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you mean.
And I was like, I've always sort of felt that like everything has a language. When you're talking about design, everything's got its language, got influences, and I like to see when different things that you don't necessarily think would go together, find a way to make that happen. It creates a bit of interest, So in this case, it was bringing that sort of very contemporary loft, white box aesthetic to a very old Phuket townhouse. So that's been very interesting.
It's an eclectic mix right there.
Yeah. But he was, from the get-go, he was like, he could really appreciate what my dad was doing, but he was like, this is not for me. This is definitely not for me. But it's, it's about finding those projects and adapting your style and the work you do for it.
Is there a project that you're really proud of that you've done?
Yes. The most recent one, which is the photo I showed you earlier.
Okay.
Was a...
How much can we talk about that?
It was a boxing ring for a project in Bangkok, up in a penthouse of the Mahanakorn Tower.
I've seen the pictures of this.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Have you seen the pictures of this?
Intricately detailed, stamped leather panels sewn together. We've got a giant leather mat insides with these like gun barrel metallic columns that are holding the ropes in together, and they get sort of stretched up into these cranks that are inside the columns, like brass detailing on all these leather straps that are holding the ropes together. It's like beautiful.
And did you made it here? I'm using the technical term. You made it here, then shipped it up there in bits. And then
Well, that's like our process.
So that's what you do.
Prefab
so you
everything.
And you prefab it in the factory.
Yeah.
Do you then put it together first before you ship it up? How does that work?
Oh well, in this case, we actually managed to shoot a music video here with it prior, because we were like, God, we can't just like send it up and not.
You've got to use this.
Yeah, I get some good photos and videos. So we did a fight night at the factory, 2 months back. It was fantastic. Very, very Mad Max aesthetic. Mad Maximalism.
You did a music video?
Yeah. Well, pretty much, yeah. We got some b-boys out of Patong, dressed them up like Muay Thai fighters, and they had a dance battle inside of it. It was phenomenal.
That's mental.
Yes. Yeah, it was so good.
See, I love these ideas. Do you think sometimes these ideas are a little bit far-fetched to create good revenue from doing a show like that?
Oh, you'd never. But it's not why you're doing it.
Why did you do it then? Just for you?
Because we can.
Because you can utilize the content.
We do it. Like, how often do you get to say that you've done that? If you didn't do it this time, you're not going to seize the opportunity to do it again, right? So, yeah. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. Fantastic.
Do you ever find it? I'm guessing most of the stuff that you produce and manufacture, it's all one-off.
Yeah.
So there's not two pieces, or very rarely, I'm guessing, you'll have the same two chairs or the same.
Never. But that's a part of the reason people come to us.
Yeah, no, exactly.
For totally unique, undeniably them artworks and furniture and bits and pieces,
Which is the cool part.
If you had a blank canvas of a project,
Yeah.
Whether it be a renovation, a new factory layout, or something. Is there a dream that you have of doing a project? Is there a project that you've got in your mind you'd love to do?
I mean, like...
Do you like dogs?
Doghouse, yeah. Training school. I mean, the aim is always to get into like full-fledged, full-off resort design. So whether it's going to be within the next 10 years or 20 years, it's going to be where I'm headed. Doing very simple, I worked in Bill's offices in Bangkok and Bali when I was very young, and I just loved the energy of the space and the fact that they had like immaculate detailed drawings for every part of these hotels and resorts, right? Everything from the silverware to the master plans. It's like it's all thought through and detailed, and you really create an impression. You create something magic by taking care of every part of the way, and like that's the goal. It's still in the future. We're not ready to do those sorts of projects yet, but we're getting closer. Like as we develop and build the team, it's always sort of like towards that end point.
Do you run the risk in doing that of becoming commercial?
Yeah,
for want of a better term.
I think
because then you've then got the same.
I think you just
units and same product.
You have to. Well, I mean, doing unique things, but you've got to. I think it's just about making sure you've got the time and the team to be able to curate something that's really has a real soul to it, a real spirit, real character. So you feel like when you go somewhere, you feel like something's been taken care of, around you. You notice that people have taken care to put that light, the shine on that artwork in exactly that way, because it creates something quite wonderful for the people that visit. And to be honest, I really enjoy more F&B style design, because you create these spaces where people visit, and for a short period of time, it's full encompassing, they're like drinking in the details as much as their cocktails,
Can you explain that to me a little bit more? What do you mean by that? Do you mean, you don't mean the food and the cocktails itself? You mean the ambience and the actual design?
The ambience of the design, but I think it all ties into creating how would you say, an experience. I mean, because that was you're building a space, but you're really building an experience, right? At the end, and if you think about it that way, it changes how you think about projects a little bit. Yeah.
You're shaking your head at me.
Yeah, because you were going off to space.
No, I wasn't. I was going to ask another question. I was going to give me an idea of an F&B place, apart from McDonald's and Burger King, other burger places are available, that you think has got that kind of feel that you like.
It's
apart from the Grind Cafe,
obviously apart from the Grind, yeah.
On the Bypass Road.
The Grind Cafe on the Bypass Road would definitely be one of them. Have you ever been to Black Ginger at the Slate? That's a special spot. Yeah.
I haven't been there for years.
Yeah.
So if it's changed or not, the one that's just on the lake.
It's on the lake,
that's
right? So
did some weddings there.
Yeah. So it's one of those places you come in, and even the entry, you come in across the lake, you get pulled in on a little pontoon by this one of the staff, and then there's an amazing sense of arrival.
The Indigo Pearl, called
previously the Indigo Pearl, now the Slate. Yeah, and just the food and how it ties in, it's got this beautiful sort of mystery to the space, and just, the food's incredible, and the whole experience is.
Forgive me for saying this. I've always found, before it was the Slate, when it was Indigo Pearl, I found it a little bit too gimmicky. I found it when I went in there, and don't get me wrong, I thought it was lovely, but I started thinking to myself, am I at Disney World? Am I in Mining World? Do you know what I mean? And I think the thing that got it for me was the knives and forks.
Yeah.
That's what pissed me off. I thought,
really?
Yeah, because they had little spanners on the top, and I thought, that's going a little bit too far, and I felt that made it a bit too gimmicky.
I loved Indigo Pearl back in the day.
Oh, I love the fact that you can nick some of their cutlery and use
so
it on
much
your
stuff
truck.
at home.
Didn't your old man have a lot to do with designing that?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
So let's not knock it too much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love that place.
You stole stuff from him.
Yes, because it's
What have
quality
you got?
stuff.
Did you steal a whole mine? One of those little cart
No,
things?
I had.
Please tell me you had.
We had a do not disturb sign from the door, and some cutlery.
If you're listening from the slate, then Russell distance Russell.
Sorry, couldn't
Well,
do
they
it.
won't care because it's branded Indigo Pearl, and they're now the slate after a long battle with Hilton, I think it was. So they won't want it back because it's Indigo Pearl.
I don't know why it changed to
Questionable.
the slate.
Because it was a legal battle with, I think it was Hilton that have Indigo in one of their brandings.
Can you say allegedly, please?
Allegedly.
Thank you. I don't want to get sued.
It was totally that.
Do you, with your design and kind of your very kind of fine art background, we're going back to the F&B stuff, do you like when food comes out, this is completely going off the cup here, comes out all designed and pretty, or are you more of a, do you know what, I just want a fried rice and egg and
I
chips and
think
that's
even
it?
something that feels incredibly casual needs to be curated, right? Maybe that's just the designer side of me, but again, like you don't want things that are too fine dining either. Like something that feels colorful and casual, like the fact that you can put a few garnishes on a meal that really pop in terms of the colors of the plate.
A little bit of
the food,
parsley on the side.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, horse, yeah.
Or a bit of chopped tomato and some
But
chopped
someone's
cucumber.
put that little bit of extra thought into the presentation.
Well, it's yeah. Well, I mean, everything's Instagrammable now. But like even before you think about taking a photograph of it, the fact that it makes you hungry. You're eating something pretty. You're eating something that someone's. It's not just a slob of stew that they've kind of slashed onto a tray. You know.
Do you use sound in your design as well? And do you think about sound?
Honestly, not that much. I reckon it is an experience. It's a sense to remember about a space.
Because that's sometimes I find you go into these beautiful places and then you get this crap music being played, or it's the effects and the acoustics associated. It just completely ruins the ambience. It's something that I see that not many people really deal with.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So in terms of like designs and stuff, do you take a role in that?
I mean, well, you have to make spaces that sound good as well as any. But in terms of sound design for a space, no, I'm not picking out their playlist.
No, I don't mean no, but like in terms of the ambience, if you've got a busy cafe and there's, I've been to some places, I won't mention, but you get a couple of people in there having a conversation, and fuck me, it's echoing all off the walls and it's bouncing. And it's impossible to.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go there because it's just too loud and uncomfortable.
No,
so, but is that something that you guys?
Oh yeah.
get involved
Like
with?
we did a project in Norway in Lillehammer for a restaurant I still can't pronounce because it looks like someone fell asleep at the keyboard. when they were writing. Yeah.
Kofefe.
And this was in a old beer cavern, but the acoustics were horrible because it's a cavernous space. You can hear the conversation but it feels like they're whispering in your ears because they're at the other end of the restaurant. But what we did for that was did these long mural style artworks in canvas that went all the ways down either side, and then a lighting track on top, and they would help. And we had all sound insulation padding inside it and behind it, and it fixed the problem right up. But that's a part of the design process. You really have to resolve issues that pop up as well.
So you do stuff worldwide, not just for Phuket and Thailand.
Yeah. Actually, less in Thailand, less in Phuket than anywhere else.
Now I remember when I was here, a few months or maybe a year ago, you were building some almost like little tree houses in the factory.
Oh yes.
Whatever happened to those bad boys?
So we did the project on Koh Yao Noi, Treehouse Villas, which was very.
Okay, that's what it was for.
Yeah.
Right.
So we did an entire project of those, and since have had projects that we've been working on. Like we've got a upcoming project in Mauritius, which COVID has sort of put the brakes on a little bit. But those, it's still something we're doing. Still something we're doing and developing.
How does it work with these sort of international projects? Do you find that you'll get sent through a design, this is what everything's going to look like, and you go ahead and build? Do you need to go on site, see and feel the area that it's going to be in, or can you just go, this is what they want?
Yeah, a lot of the time that can be a little bit problematic.
I mean, obviously, if this year aside, but yeah. Most of a lot of the time that's what it comes down to. But these days it's really easy because you can buzz over SketchUp models and things, so you can get quite a lot of information from them.
But yeah, you just have to learn how to be very polite over chain emails.
Yeah.
With everything, when you're working for someone as a designer, and I've had the same thing, how frustrated do you get with clients?
Oh, no, not frustrated. Not really.
Do most of them give you free range then?
Yes, or else we take it. No, like usually the process is we're gonna put so much energy and effort into something that whatever they started with, we're gonna way exceed the expectations with the final product, and that's across the board. You get a shop drawing that's descriptive in terms of sizes and stuff, but there's no real. A lot has to change in the process of actually making it, which I think is one thing we really excel at in terms of really putting energy, developing the designs that we get.
I would also argue if people are coming to you,
Yeah.
they know what they're coming to you for.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason they've gotten to us in the first place.
And they're aware that
Yeah.
of you, your background, your history, your brand.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say build me this exactly, because that's not what you
It's
do.
more a suggestion.
Yeah. Give us your guidelines, just so we know what we're not going to do.
Yeah. What are you aiming at?
All we've talked about is Zach's work, haven't we? We've not even opened up about him personally.
Oh.
Tell us about your love life. There we go. Done that.
Brilliant. Sorry, ladies, he's taken now.
Yeah.
He's a taken man.
Married? Plans?
Oh no, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Just enjoying
Oh,
life.
there's a look.
Yeah.
Enjoying life at the
So
moment.
how long have we been together?
About a year now.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's plenty of time. You should have put the
Actually,
question on
Met
her.
her on my last birthday.
Oh yeah.
So that was.
Did she pop out of a cake? Just... I'm just asking.
Yeah, wrapped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just because
anyway,
if so, we
I
should
know.
cancel the cake for this year.
Who's going to be inside it? Russell.
Let's get to the main crux of it.
We're looking at me for.
Because it's your question.
Oh, of all the things, obviously you've travelled a fair bit. You've had a fairly creative life. But what sort of things have you got on your bucket list?
Bucket list.
Apart from, can I just say, when I asked Zach to be on the podcast a few weeks ago, he did say, and I sent him the questions, I said, and one of them is, we're going to ask you about being on your bucket list. He replied back saying, well, I've already hit it because I want to be on the Leshark. I thought that was very nice.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
And then I turned around and went, bullshit. And he went, yeah.
I mean, it's
you're right.
understandable.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want
I'm
to be on this
surprised it's
podcast?
taken this long that we've got him.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Zach. You should have been number one.
I'm really looking forward to traveling again. Like it's been working for such a long time. I'd be like, obviously
Who the
there's
fuck doesn't?
like on the career side, it's more working, like doing bigger and better projects, and that's always going to be an ongoing
evolution.
thing, right?
Where
It's
do you want
always
to
till
travel
the next one.
Where do you want to travel to? What would be your, because you've
COVID's
obviously-
gone. There's your passport. You can go one place now. Where's it going to be?
Oh God, South America for sure.
Anywhere in particular? It's a big continent.
Yeah. You'd love to go back to Brazil.
Okay.
God, it was beautiful out there.
You've been there before, yeah?
Yes, yeah. Get a van and trek.
I heard get a man.
Get a van.
Oh, get a man.
Hey, well,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Each to their own, Zach.
Yeah.
Up to you.
Now get a van and properly do a road trip, because, like, you know that what is it? The timed. God, my mind's blanked.
While you're thinking about that, have you been anywhere else in South America or just Brazil?
Oh, just Brazil.
Okay.
Just Brazil.
Yeah, ditto. I'd like
But
to do Argentina.
it was a great launch pad, like honestly. But get a van, travel around, like do a proper road trip.
Yeah.
Like,
What is it about Brazil that you like? Because when I think of Brazil, I think football, I think carnival,
Yeah.
and obviously, let's do the joke, and I think ladies' parts. So what is it about Brazil that you like?
all of the above.
And not necessarily in that order.
But I wouldn't know, apart from Rio de Janeiro, I wouldn't know what there is about Brazil. I don't know about Brazil.
Do you not remember the 2016 World Cup?
Yeah, but I was watching football. I wasn't watching anything else. But are there other areas of Brazil that I obviously don't know about?
Well, but that's the
That's the
point of
point.
exploring
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
You
I mean, it's
you
a
start
massive
somewhere and you
country.
don't know where you're going to finish. That's what I was thinking. Like, I never really got that gap year that a lot of people had.
And so you shouldn't. You should fucking go to work. Gap years. I've been on a gap year for the last 3 years, I think, to be fair.
No, but I start somewhere and set out a good couple of months to find out where you finish.
Yeah.
You know?
Just see where the road takes you.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I think, a little bit of just a very loose plan, because everything else is very structured at the moment. So very loose start point and survive.
Is there anything else on the bucket list you want to do?
Couldn't
See,
tell
it's
you
interesting.
right now.
I guarantee that what you'll do is in about either a few hours' time or a day's time, you'll
think
you'll
about
send me a
this.
message.
Yeah.
You'll say, oh, shit,
I should have said this.
Should have said
Yeah.
this.
Because I did exactly the same thing when Russell interviewed me, and I did my bucket. I've got not much on my bucket list. And
Yeah.
since then, I've now got. I want to go and get a monster truck. I want to drive a monster truck. I want to go to Argentina. I want to be a cowboy in Argentina and eat steak on an open fire somewhere.
Yeah.
And I start to add them all as I go along.
That's good. It's good. It makes you think. Actually, one of the ones I managed to tick this off a few years ago. But you know the giant puppets that trounce around Europe? I got to see one of those in.
No way.
I was so into it because I love the theater of it. Like the mechanical.
Oh, it's
They are
incredible.
huge, aren't
They are massive. Like I was
a few
drinking.
stories high, aren't
I was
they?
drinking a beer on my friend's rooftop, and this one of them
goes
walk past, and you're at shoulder height.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts. Like they had to, because this happened in Leeuwarden, and my friend was working on the committee of the European Capital of Culture at the time, because that was the city where everything was happening. They were planning this for 2 years, clearing telephone posts, reinforcing roads, building embankments. It was
so the people have got a long poles, and they're basically.
oh my god,
puppets,
there's
aren't they?
There's people in there.
There's like 50 people
Yeah.
controlling this one puppet, because it's all done by their body weight.
Yeah.
They're massive parts hewn out of timber.
But their eyes blink, they can smile.
It's
It's
wild.
just incredible.
Oh, there was
Are they going to take over the world?
Probably.
That worries me a little.
Yeah, quite probably.
If someone sprinkles some, pixie
some
dust
Mary-
on them,
yeah.
then we're fucked. They're going to
Yeah,
just.
yeah.
Is that something that you would? Because I remember your dad talked to me about it when we was doing as I touched Russell's leg, when we did the Leshark and Friends live show. He mentioned to me, "Oh, we could do these puppets," because he's always every time I walk in here, he grabs me and says, "Right, we're going to do this, Jay, and you're going to do this, and Jay, you're going to do this." And Jay, I'm like, "All right."
Well, there's always there's another, like, there's a dream of really creating a wild Mad Hatter Baba cabaret here at the factory at some point. Like,
would be fun.
like the maddest, craziest, weirdest things that you've ever seen ever in one place on stage.
But I think there are people on this island
That would do it.
that would do it because
Anyone here that wants to
there's-
drop in?
There's two of
You're
us.
very welcome.
Sat right next to you, mate.
Yeah.
But also, I remember I came here. Excuse me. There was a swap shop here
Yes.
a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
and there was a Russian girl who did the fashion show.
Yes.
And you should have been here, Russ, because I brought
trying to
Ashton,
say?
my boy, with me, and at one point, mate, you've got to just. I had to cover his eyes up. And
You
I know
savage!
Oh, well, I know the Russian girl that did it, and she's a lovely, lovely chick, but she is out there, like bonkers, completely out there. So I think there is a market for that kind of craziness that
Yes.
goes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Build it and they will come.
We've got something planned with the same girl.
Tell us
and
more.
The same group. I can't. Just teasing that.
Well, do remember you've got two MCs that are pretty much out there that are sat here, and I'm very good at dressing up like the Mad Hatter.
I'm very good at just being mad.
Okay.
You can dress up as a rabbit.
Yeah. Can you? No, I'm not gonna, no.
Let's wrap
No.
this bad boy up. I'm loving your work boots, by the way. I love the fact they've got zips on the side and laces.
Oh, well,
So
the laces are just for show. These.
Oh, okay, so it's zippy. Zack Underwood from
End
the
on a good
Underwood
note.
Factory from the Grind Cafe. Thank you very much for being on our little podcast.
Oh,
Thanks for
thank
being
you
on, buddy.
so much for having me, guys.
When is the Grind open? Is it open 7 days a week?
7 days a week now. Yeah.
From when
So
till when?
from morning till late. So from 11 till 8.
11.
So come in
Okay.
for lunch, come in for dinner.
Like
You'll
it on
enjoy it.
Facebook. Yeah, no, definitely come here because we're looking around. It's a bonkers place, but it's an amazing place, and the
Yeah.
coffee's really nice actually.
Coffee was very good. Thank you very much.
Zach, thank you for having us.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Cheers, buddy.
And good luck to you.
Oh,
And we'll
cheers.
catch you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Welcome to the outro.
Welcome to the outro, Jay.
I like Zach.
I love Zach. He's great.
very
He's cool.
intelligent, but very cool and
It's a low
very
bar.
what? Being intelligent. Don't. He's a lovely guy. Do you know what I like about him most? Is he's just genuinely nice. He's a really nice guy.
Genuine's the word. Very easygoing, very relaxed. I think that's just him generally, right?
Generally, we're going to say...
Generally genuine.
We said the word generally a lot. I also noticed you could see on his face he had so much going on.
There was a lot going back. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in his head, and he was kind of like going, right... but he gave us his time, which I think was really precious, because I can see how busy he is. And he just gave us a little tour around his factory as well, which was kind of nice.
Have you been back there before?
Yeah, a few times.
That's my first time I've actually been...
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's mental.
Have you not been through it before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man, no, I used to come here, obviously because I've done a few different gigs here. I used to go there all the time and just walk around and see the different projects that are going on.
That's just mental.
It's
some crazy stuff. And I love their work. And it's just...
But you only see their work on the outside. And like you said, now you've gone to the back of the factory, you see the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's mental. It is really cool. I feel really weird sat here so close to you. But that was Zack. I really like him. I've known him for... Like I said, when Tank and I, God rest his soul... When we opened the stage, I still say we opened the stage here. We're the first act on this stage. And that's when I met Zack. And ever since then, he's just been a cool guy.
Yeah.
Cool guy.
I couldn't tell you when I first met him. It's been years. I feel like I've known him forever.
Ah, bless him.
Hey-ho.
Well, there you go. Have you listened to Barkcast yet?
I have indeed.
Good, you should do. Barkcast has been released. It is out there. So make sure if you do own a dog or you're thinking about getting a dog, listen to Barkcast.
Subscribe, please. Give us a 5-star rating.
And while you're doing that, give us Jay Leshark and Friends a 5-star rating if you like.
Absolutely.
You can say anything you like in the words, in the comments section.
Which no one reads. They just want to see a number of stars.
Just give us 5 stars. And apparently that helps us with algorithms and stuff. I've never asked for it before, but I've decided that I need some money, so give us some 5 stars. If you've got a dog that needs training, go and see Russell.
Come to Canine Point.
There you go. Caninepointacademy. It's up in
Down.
There you go.
Bandon.
Bandon.
Not man down.
Bandon. Anyway, go and check that out. Loads going on. Like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, and go to our website, which is
PhuketPodcast.com.
Do you want me to play the Barkcast advert at the end
It'd
of this
be rude
again?
not to, really, to be fair.
All right.
Cheers, buddy.
Thanks for your time, Russ.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Bye. This is Barkcast.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Barkcast deals with just about everything dog related. Dog obedience, training, health, owning a dog behaviour and care and nutrition. Each week, your questions will be answered by professional senior trainer and owner of Canine Point Academy, Russell D. Russell, a professional member of the IACP, a registered evaluator with the American Kennel Club, and has trained thousands of dogs across a variety of disciplines. So you're rewarding the dog for barking?
So, yes, with the understanding, I want them to understand. I mean, for example, I could use the word speak. So speak, woof, woof, woof. Be quiet means nothing. I don't woof.
You just mentioned the term raw food. What do you mean by raw food?
So there's quite a big movement in some circles about feeding dogs a raw diet. So the philosophy behind it would be, dogs, generally speaking, don't sit around a fire and cook their food. They just eat the kill raw.
Is it better to adopt or is it better to buy?
It's a real dynamite question, that one.
If you're looking for professional training or somewhere to board your dog, either short or long term, then check out Canine Point Academy. That's caninepointacademy.com or go to Facebook and search Canine Point Academy. Time. No beginning, no end. An infinite procession that humbles our mortality. But there are moments in life that transcend our fate. Burgers, crafted by gods among men. These are the burgers that echo through the ages. Like the mythical gods of ancient Greece, they may thrill us, inspire us, at times make us angry, but they will never let us forget them. Saturday the 14th of November is their night, their battle, their moment of ultimate sacrifice. Welcome to Phuket's best burger. Greatness, redemption, glory.